This is a Arizona story that I came across here, and without searching for it, I type in Arizona news, as I like to do these local decodes. Well, not necessarily local. I live in Arizona, if you didn't know already. So I like to maybe about once a week throw in these decodes of an Arizona story. As here's another one: former Republican Senator Jon Kyl of Arizona says he has dementia and he withdraws from public life. That's interesting how they put that. Withdraws from public life, right? Like, is that a possibility? So we'll get into this right here. You see, this is CBS News, okay? And dementia is a general term for a decline in mental ability severe enough to interfere with daily life, encompassing memory loss, impaired thinking, judgment, language, and problem solving. Not a normal part of aging and often caused by diseases like Alzheimer's, Lewy body, or vascular dementia, leading to issues with familiar tasks, disorientation, and mood changes.
Tyler, well, dementia is driving a former Arizona senator from public life. As KGUN 9's Craig Smith reports, at age 83, former Senator Jon Kyl says he's preparing for a new and difficult phase of his life.
In 26 years in elected office, first in the House, later in the Senate, Jon Kyl combined a love for Arizona with the analytical mind of
26 years in office, Phoenix does equal 26. If you think of Arizona, you may possibly think of Phoenix, Arizona. And he's 83, he's in his 84th year of life. Arizona equals 84.
a skilled lawyer to do what he thought was best for this state. Now he and his family have conceded dementia is eroding his skills, so he is withdrawing from public life.
I think his legacy will be a love for Arizona. He absolutely adores the state, every inch of it, every corner of it.
Jake Logan leads the Arizona Charter School Association now, but he served with Kyl in a variety of roles for about 30 years.
And I've traveled every inch of the state with him, and whether it was in one of our tribal communities or a business community setting, he always took the time to listen. And I think that really was a great way for him to gather information and then try to be able to make the best decision he could for Arizona.
Kyl was especially interested in water issues, working to ensure Arizona's future water supply in our dry climate. Jon Kyl became a member of the House of Representatives in 1987. He became a senator in 1994 and served there until he retired in 2013. He returned to the Senate for a few months in 2018 when he was appointed to fill the seat left vacant by the death of Senator John McCain. Tributes are coming in from both parties. Former Governor Doug Ducey called Kyl a mentor, a friend, and a confidant. Not sure I would have been governor without his counsel and encouragement. Senator Jon Kyl is a giant set forth in the tradition of Arizona's own Barry Goldwater. Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego said in part, he served Arizona for decades and played an important role in issues like water security that continue to shape our state. For himself, Jon Kyl released a statement that said, my family and I now head down a path filled with moments of joy and increasing difficulties. I am grateful beyond expression for.
They're almost talking about him like he died. Yeah, I may have kind of heard about the guy. His name sounds familiar, but I don't really follow all of these politicians and Chamber of Congress with this guy, former Republican U.S. Jon Kyl. Most of those years in the Senate, including a term as minority whip. Look at that right there. They say dementia, and they have his, look how they have his name, Senator Jon Kyl, SEN, abbreviated. I just copy and paste that and I convert it to numbers using the Gematrinator calculator. Check that out. Sen Jon Kyl, 35 and 46 in the same ciphers as dementia. And 35 and 46, we get a dementia story involving Senator Jon Kyl. Okay? Look at that right there. They even say, look, most of those years were in the Senate, including a term as minority whip. Minority whip 145 in the same cipher, dementia 145. It's a lottery with this story by the numbers. Okay, so that's, in my opinion, if there were to be another condition that had the 145, it could have been insert that condition here by the numbers. That's what my opinion is, like a lottery by the numbers with this story. That's my opinion. I mean, he's 83. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it did happen. But isn't it amazing how these numbers line up like that? And this isn't the most severe case when we look at these stories. But look, dementia, Sen Jon Kyl. It's right in the title. And they keep saying withdraws from public life. They keep saying that. It just sounds eerie, you know? Check that out right there. So this story comes 116 days before his birthday, when Congress equals 116, and his April 25th birthday is the 115th day of the year, just one number off. You could even flip that 116 if you wanted to, and you get the 911, which is highly associated with Arizona, because remember, after 9/11 they beat the Yankees in the World Series, and I've mentioned it several times how 911 is associated with Arizona. Okay, and they're saying a minority whip. So let's take a deeper look into that real quick. What is a minority whip? Hold on, that kind of sounds racist, doesn't it? A minority whip? A key leadership role in a political party in the minority in a legislature responsible for party this blah 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 blah. Whipping means whipping members to support the party's stance on bills. Man, that sounds racist. It really does, huh? So we got that 145 right there, okay? And he was appointed to replace the late Senator John McCain in Arizona's Senate seat in September 2018, serving temporarily until December 2018, after which Martha McSally was appointed by Governor Doug Ducey. Blah, blah, blah. So he was appointed to replace the late Senator John McCain in Arizona's seat. John McCain, look, he died, okay? So John McCain died on the 25th of August. And this guy was born on the 25th of April. and his upcoming birthday leaves 250 days of the year in the year, like 25. Look at this article, hits in the year 2025, as we have now moved on to 26. So 25, 25, 25, 25. This guy syncs up rather nicely. Jon Kyl. He's got the middle name Llewellyn. Look at how he syncs up with Arizona, as he served as U.S. Senator and Representative from Arizona, known for his extensive career in Congress and as a lobbyist after his retirements. Look at that. His upcoming birthday's got the 39 date numerology. His middle name equals 39. John equals 39. Arizona equals 39. You also get the 42 with all of those. Okay, I told you it's just a nice, easy decode on this January 2nd for you. And we'll play one more video here and maybe possibly look at a couple more things. Look at over here first. Look at John McCain. If I can find him. Like, here he is right here. So look, John McCain died 4 days before his birthday. Look at that. And I get Joe Biden vibes from him. I think he looks like Joe Biden, which is kind of interesting as well. Former President John Sidney McCain III, right here, was an American politician, naval officer who represented Arizona in the United States Congress for over 35 years, first as a U.S. representative from 83 to 87, then as a U.S. Senator from 87 until his death in 2018. Dies 4 days before his birthday. And the other dude's born in April, which is a A, and this is August, which is a A as well. I might as well enter this guy in the calculator, his full name, and probably just John McCain real quick as well. Look, he syncs up with politics. Look at 113 and 103 like politics with his full name. See that right there? This is dude he replaced, Jon Kyl. Look at that, 103 and 113. Just like politics. You see that? I mean, it's just... it just be like that, okay? Wow, look at that right there. Let me make sure the spelling's right. Yes. Look, John McCain, I see these numbers over and over with Arizona. Look at the 45. Arizona's birthday is the 45th day of the year. You see that? And all of these numbers, you get the 54, which is the reverse. These numbers always land with Arizona. Just go back and watch some of the Arizona videos. This is in its own playlist here on my channel, A to Z Decodes. You'll see these numbers over and over and over again. Look at the 180, like 18. Sun equals 18. Valley of the Sun, right? Arizona, you got, Phoenix area. Look at this. And there's the 54. Look at the 9, which is like 90. So you see that? 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 2 is 18. You see how that works? So this stuff lands over. I'm even in Arizona. My birthday is 8/18/81. You see that? How does this work? My name's Matthew. Look, you get the same thing. 9, 27, 36. You see that? Right? I mean, the world's fake, man. I mean, how... It's interesting, right?
Former Arizona Senator Jon Kyl has said that he is now stepping away from public life after a dementia diagnosis. Kyl, who is now 83, spent nearly 3 decades representing Arizona in Congress. He served as minority whip and helped lead tribal water rights deals. Kyl returned to the Senate in 2018, if you recall, to fill the seat of the late Senator John McCain. He says his family's support means everything.
Gosh, I gotta ask Google this. Minority whip sounds racist. A specific, doesn't it? Look, what is a minority? Right? A minority, like a group of people,
Minority.
right? I'm out here in Arizona. We get a lot of the ICE stories about people crossing the border or whatever. Think about that, a minority, or like, you could say maybe like a black person or something, right? Isn't, and did black people used to get whipped? A part of the story. You see that? Yes, enslaved black people in the U.S. were commonly brutally whipped. Isn't that interesting? A minority whip? That's like, I mean, come on, man. Some of these words that they use are, maybe they should take a look and remove some of these. Remember they manipulated by making the word whip popular by people calling their car whip. They use like rap music and I think plants to make certain sayings popular, and then everybody just follows suit. Like calling your house a crib, which like you're like a baby, you know what I mean? I don't know. So yes, I just wanted to bring that to you. This Arizona story. It's very early here as I'm recording, and you see the thumbnail. It's cool being able to get familiar with these characters, and we can't really like take it serious, but it's fun to break down these stories and to show these interesting connections as we gain knowledge as well. And maybe not a lot of knowledge, but just being able to show and recognize these patterns and look at the language and look at the birthdays, look at the days affiliated with these stories, and try to make some sense of it, right? So we're on January 2nd right now, okay? So you see again, this story hits Wednesday, which was New Year's Eve, but he withdraws from public life Tuesday, December 30th. I mean, that's just how they put that is just weird. Withdraws from public life. Like, what the hell? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this one. A to Z decodes on the playlist. Former Republican Jon Kyl, senator of Arizona, says he has dementia, withdraws from public life. Until next time.